The Galactic Empire was vast and powerful. It stretched across countless star systems, with its influence reaching far and wide. The Empire had conquered many planets, imposing its rule with an iron fist. Now their eyes turned toward Earth, a small blue planet on the edge of the galaxy. To the Empire, Earth seemed like an easy target, a world inhabited by a primitive species that posed no real threat. The Empire's high command decided it was time to bring Earth under their control. To achieve this, they sent an Imperial fleet, one of the most powerful armadas in the galaxy. The fleet was led by Admiral Varkon, a seasoned and ruthless commander known for his victories in many battles. He was confident that conquering Earth would be a simple task, just another notch in his long list of triumphs. The fleet consisted of massive warships, each armed with advanced weapons that could destroy entire cities in seconds. The Empire had no doubt that Earth would fall quickly. As the fleet approached Earth, the people of the planet had no idea what was coming. Most humans were busy with their daily lives, unaware that their world was about to face a great danger. However, not everyone was in the dark. In secret, some governments had detected strange signals coming from space. The signals were unlike anything they had seen before. Military leaders and scientists quickly realized that these signals were coming from an unknown fleet heading straight for Earth. The news spread quickly among the world's leaders. They called emergency meetings, trying to figure out what to do. Fear and uncertainty gripped the leaders of Earth. They had never faced anything like this before. Most believed that they were dealing with an alien invasion. The thought of advanced beings from another planet coming to conquer Earth was terrifying. Many leaders assumed that humanity had no chance against such a powerful force. But as the fleet drew closer, something interesting began to happen. The people of Earth, despite their differences, started to come together. Scientists, engineers, and military experts from different countries began to collaborate, sharing their knowledge and resources. They knew that they had to work together if they were to have any hope of defending their planet. While the Empire viewed Earth as a weak and divided world, the reality was different. Humans were resourceful, inventive, and determined to protect their home. Meanwhile, aboard the flagship of the Imperial fleet, Admiral Varkon observed Earth through the ship's advanced sensors. He saw the cities, the technology, and the people going about their lives. To him, it all seemed so primitive, so beneath the mighty Empire. He couldn't understand why the High Command had even bothered to send such a large fleet for this mission. In his mind, 1 or 2 ships would have been more than enough to conquer this insignificant world. Despite his arrogance, Admiral Varkon prepared his fleet for the invasion. He ordered his ships to take up positions around the planet, ready to strike at a moment's notice. The plan was simple: disable Earth's defenses, destroy any resistance, and demand the planet's surrender. Varkon expected the humans to surrender quickly with minimal fighting. After all, who would dare resist the might of the Galactic Empire? But as the fleet moved into position, strange things began to happen. Earth's defense systems, which the Empire had thought would be easy to disable, started to fight back. Powerful electromagnetic pulses disrupted the Empire's communications, and Earth's satellites, once harmless tools for communication and observation, suddenly became weapons. The Imperial fleet found itself facing unexpected resistance from a planet they had underestimated. Admiral Varkon frowned as he watched the chaos unfold on his screens. This was not how he had expected the invasion to go. Perhaps, he thought, these humans were not as primitive as they seemed. Little did he know, this was just the beginning of Earth's fight to protect itself from the might of the Empire. As the Imperial fleet prepared to launch its full assault on Earth, humanity was far from helpless. While the Galactic Empire believed Earth to be an easy conquest, they had no idea what humans were truly capable of. For years, Earth's leaders had quietly invested in advanced technologies, not for war, but for defense. In the shadows of the world's conflicts, scientists and engineers had created powerful tools, weapons, and strategies that could turn the tide in the face of any threat. The Empire's first wave of attacks targeted major cities and military installations around the globe. Giant warships descended from the sky, releasing devastating energy blasts meant to cripple Earth's defenses in minutes. However, the Empire was about to discover that humanity had more than a few tricks up its sleeve. As the first blasts hit, Earth's defenses sprang into action. Hidden deep within mountain ranges, underground bunkers, and even beneath the oceans, powerful countermeasures were activated. These defenses were not the massive space fleets or laser cannons the Empire was used to, but instead clever, unconventional technologies that caught the invaders off guard. One of Earth's greatest assets was its network of drones, small, agile, and almost impossible to track. These drones, equipped with stealth technology, quickly swarmed the Imperial warships. They were too small to be hit by the Empire's massive cannons, and too fast for their targeting systems. The drones delivered precise strikes to the Empire's ships, targeting weak points in their armor and wreaking havoc on their systems. At the same time, Earth's cyber warfare teams went to work. Using highly advanced hacking tools, they began to infiltrate the Empire's communication networks. The Imperial fleet, once perfectly coordinated, suddenly found itself struggling to communicate. Orders were lost or corrupted, and some ships even turned on each other in the confusion. The Empire, which had always relied on its technological superiority, was now facing an enemy that could outsmart its machines. In addition to the drones and cyber attacks, Earth's military forces used a combination of guerrilla tactics and advanced weaponry. Instead of meeting the Imperial fleet head-on, human forces struck from unexpected angles, using the planet's terrain to their advantage. Mobile units armed with portable electromagnetic pulse, EMP, devices disabled enemy weapons and shields, rendering the Empire's superior technology useless. But it wasn't just the military fighting back. Civilians, too, played a crucial role in the defense of Earth. Across the globe, people from all walks of life volunteered to help. Engineers and mechanics worked day and night to keep the defense systems running, while hackers and programmers joined forces to disrupt the Empire's networks. Even farmers and laborers found ways to contribute, using their knowledge of the land to help hide key assets or create traps for the invaders. The Empire was unprepared for the resilience and creativity of the human race. Every time they adapted to one of Earth's strategies, the humans came up with something new. The Imperial fleet, which had expected a quick and easy victory, found itself bogged down in a conflict that was far more complicated than they had imagined. Admiral Varkon, who had once been so confident, now faced a grim reality. His fleet was suffering heavy losses, and the humans showed no signs of surrendering. What puzzled him the most was how these primitive beings could outmaneuver his highly advanced forces. The answer was simple. While the Empire relied on brute strength and superior technology, humanity relied on ingenuity, adaptability, and the sheer will to survive. As the battle continued, it became clear that the humans were not fighting just for their planet. They were fighting for their future, their freedom, and their very existence. The Empire had underestimated Earth, and now they were paying the price. Humanity's unconventional defense had turned what should have been an easy conquest into a desperate struggle for survival. The stage was set for a confrontation that would determine the fate of both Earth and the Galactic Empire. As the battle for Earth raged on, the Imperial fleet grew increasingly desperate. Admiral Varkon, once so sure of victory, now faced a situation spiraling out of his control. The humans had proven to be far more formidable than he had ever anticipated. Their unconventional tactics, combined with their relentless determination, had turned what should have been a quick conquest into a prolonged and costly war. The Empire, used to overwhelming its enemies with sheer force, now found itself struggling against an enemy that refused to be beaten. In a final bid to crush Earth's resistance, Admiral Varkon ordered his fleet to launch an all-out assault. He planned to bombard the planet's major cities with enough firepower to force the humans into submission. If the humans wouldn't surrender, he would leave them with no choice by destroying everything they held dear. The Empire had rarely faced such stubborn resistance, and Varkon was determined to end it, no matter the cost. As the Imperial ships began their descent toward Earth, the human forces braced for the worst. They knew that this was the Empire's last and most desperate move. But rather than giving in to fear, humanity's resolve only strengthened. Across the planet, people prepared for the coming onslaught, ready to defend their homes with everything they had. In the midst of this chaos, a surprising event unfolded. A small group of Imperial officers, disillusioned by the Empire's ruthless tactics and the arrogance of their leaders, secretly contacted Earth's leaders. These officers had seen enough destruction and wanted no part in the senseless slaughter that was about to occur. They offered valuable information in exchange for asylum, details about the Empire's weaknesses, ship vulnerabilities, and even access codes to the fleet's systems. Earth's leaders were initially skeptical, but they knew this could be the turning point they desperately needed. They accepted the offer and quickly relayed the information to their military forces. With this new intelligence, Earth's defenders could now strike back in ways that would truly hurt the Imperial fleet. As the Empire's ships began their attack, Earth's forces unleashed their counteroffensive. The information provided by the defectors proved invaluable. Human pilots, now equipped with the Empire's secrets, launched daring raids against key ships in the fleet. Using the precise coordinates and access codes, they were able to bypass the ship's defenses, delivering devastating blows to the heart of the Imperial Armada. The turning point came during the battle for Earth's orbit. In space, a massive clash unfolded as human fighters and drones engaged the Empire's warships in close combat. The Empire's ships, though powerful, were not designed for the kind of unpredictable hit-and-run tactics the humans employed. Earth's forces, using their newfound knowledge, targeted the Empire's command ships, aiming to cut off the fleet's leadership. Admiral Varkon watched in horror as his fleet began to fall apart. The human attacks were precise, coordinated, and relentless. For the first time, he felt the sting of true defeat. His once mighty fleet, the pride of the Empire, was now in disarray. Ships were being destroyed faster than they could be replaced, and communication lines were in complete chaos. Realizing the situation was slipping out of his grasp, Varkon made a desperate decision. He ordered his flagship, the Invictus, to charge directly toward Earth's surface, intending to unleash one final catastrophic attack. If he couldn't conquer Earth, he would at least leave it in ruins. But Earth's forces, anticipating his move, launched a daring mission to stop him. A squadron of Earth's best pilots, led by Commander Elena Torres, took on the mission to intercept the Invictus. Using the information from the defectors, they navigated through the ship's defenses, heading straight for its core. In a high-stakes battle inside the ship itself, they managed to disable its main weapon systems just moments before it could fire on Earth. The Invictus was neutralized, and with it, the Empire's last hope of victory. The destruction of the flagship sent shockwaves through the remaining Imperial forces. Leaderless and demoralized, many of the Empire's ships began to retreat, while others surrendered outright to the human forces. The tide had finally turned. Earth had not only survived the onslaught, but had dealt a crippling blow to the Galactic Empire. What was once a certain defeat had become a remarkable victory, one that would be remembered for generations. The battle for Earth was far from over, but humanity had shown that it was not a species to be underestimated. The war had reached its turning point, and now the future was in humanity's hands. The Imperial fleet was on the brink of collapse. What began as a confident invasion had turned into a nightmare for Admiral Varkon and his once mighty armada. Earth, a planet the Empire had deemed insignificant, had proven to be an unyielding foe. The humans, with their unorthodox tactics and fierce determination, had managed to turn the tide of battle. Now the Imperial fleet faced total destruction. With the Invictus, the Empire's flagship, neutralized, the remaining Imperial ships were left in disarray. Command structures had broken down, and the fleet's once unified strategy was in tatters. Earth's forces, emboldened by their recent victories, prepared to deliver the final blow. The humans knew that this was their chance to end the invasion once and for all. Across the globe, the people of Earth watched anxiously as their military launched a coordinated counterattack. The plan was simple: take advantage of the Empire's weakened state and dismantle their fleet piece by piece. Human forces targeted the remaining command ships first, knowing that without leadership, the Imperial fleet would be easy prey. Advanced fighters and drones swarmed the skies, using hit-and-run tactics to strike at vulnerable points on the massive enemy warships. The Empire's ships, designed for large-scale planetary assaults, were ill-prepared for this kind of agile warfare. Earth's forces moved quickly, avoiding direct confrontations, and instead focusing on disabling the Empire's critical systems. Precision strikes took out key engines, weapon systems, and communication arrays, leaving the Imperial ships crippled and isolated. Admiral Varkon, still aboard the damaged Invictus, refused to admit defeat. He ordered his remaining forces to regroup and launch a final desperate counterattack. But the Admiral's commands, once feared and followed without question, now fell on deaf ears. The Imperial fleet was no longer the well-oiled machine it had been at the start of the invasion. Panic and confusion spread among the crews, and many captains chose to flee rather than face certain destruction. As Earth's forces closed in, the battle reached its climax. In a series of intense skirmishes, human pilots and soldiers displayed remarkable courage and skill. They fought not just for their survival, but for the future of their planet. Every shot fired, every maneuver executed was a step closer to victory. One by one, the Imperial ships fell. Some exploded in fiery bursts as their reactors were breached, while others simply drifted, powerless and defeated. The once imposing sight of the Imperial fleet, which had filled Earth's skies with fear, was now a graveyard of wreckage. The pride of the Galactic Empire had been brought low by a species they had underestimated. In the final moments of the battle, Admiral Varkon realized that all was lost. His fleet was shattered, his forces decimated. He had failed the Empire and now faced the ultimate disgrace. But rather than surrender, Varkon chose to go down with his ship. He ordered the Invictus to self-destruct, hoping to take as many human ships with him as possible. However, Earth's forces were ready. Commander Elena Torres, who had led the daring mission to disable the Invictus, had anticipated Varkon's last act of defiance. She ordered her team to evacuate the area and jammed the self-destruct signal, buying just enough time for the human ships to escape the blast radius. The Invictus erupted in a massive explosion, but it did little damage to the victorious human fleet. With the destruction of the Invictus, the battle was over. The few remaining Imperial ships either surrendered or fled into deep space, their crews too demoralized to continue the fight. Earth had won. The aftermath of the battle was a mix of celebration and reflection. Humanity had achieved the impossible, defeating one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. But the cost had been high. Cities lay in ruins, and many lives had been lost. Yet in the face of overwhelming odds, Earth had stood firm. The people of Earth had not only defended their planet, but had shown the galaxy that they were a force to be reckoned with. The fall of the Imperial fleet marked the beginning of a new era. The Galactic Empire, once so sure of its dominance, now had to reckon with the fact that they were not invincible. And for humanity, this victory was more than just a defense of their home. It was a statement to the stars that Earth was ready to take its place among them. The world began to rebuild, stronger and more united than ever before. The fall of the Imperial fleet would go down in history as the day Earth defied the odds and proved that even the mightiest empires could fall when faced with the indomitable spirit of humanity. The battle was over, and Earth had emerged victorious. The Imperial fleet, which had once loomed over the planet with overwhelming power, was now nothing more than a collection of wreckage scattered across space. The Galactic Empire, which had believed itself invincible, had been brought low by the resilience and ingenuity of humanity. But as the dust settled and the last of the Imperial ships fled or surrendered, the people of Earth knew that this victory was just the beginning of a new chapter in their history. In the days following the battle, the world was filled with a mix of relief, grief, and hope. The cost of victory had been high. Cities lay in ruins, and countless lives had been lost. Families mourned their loved ones, and communities came together to rebuild what had been destroyed. Yet, even in the face of such loss, there was a sense of pride and accomplishment that united the people of Earth. Leaders from every nation gathered to discuss the future. The old rivalries and divisions that had once separated them now seemed trivial in the wake of the shared struggle for survival. The battle against the Empire had shown humanity what could be achieved when they stood together. It was clear that the future would require a new level of cooperation and unity. Earth was no longer just a planet of individual nations. It was a world that had earned its place on the galactic stage. One of the first decisions made by the new Global Council was to form a united planetary defense force. The lessons learned during the battle would be used to create a military that could protect Earth from any future threats. Scientists and engineers began working on new technologies, building on the innovations that had helped them defeat the Empire. The goal was not just to defend Earth, but to explore the stars, learn from other civilizations, and ensure that humanity would never again be caught off guard. As Earth rebuilt, there was also a growing interest in diplomacy. The Galactic Empire had been the first extraterrestrial civilization humanity had encountered, but it was unlikely to be the last. Earth's leaders recognized the importance of establishing peaceful relations with other species. They knew that the galaxy was vast and full of unknown dangers, but also potential allies. Humanity's victory had made an impression on the galaxy, and it was important to shape how they would be perceived going forward. Commander Elena Torres, who had played a key role in the defeat of the Imperial fleet, was chosen to lead Earth's first diplomatic mission to the stars. Her bravery and leadership had earned her the respect of not only her fellow humans, but also those few Imperial defectors who had sided with Earth. Torres understood the importance of her mission. It was a chance to show the galaxy that Earth was not just a planet of warriors, but also a world of diplomats, explorers, and allies. As preparations for the mission began, there was a sense of excitement in the air. The people of Earth were eager to see what lay beyond their world, to learn from other civilizations, and to share their own knowledge. The victory over the Empire had given them confidence, but it had also taught them humility. They knew that the galaxy was full of challenges, but they were ready to face them together. The day finally came when Earth's first starship, the New Dawn, was ready for launch. It was a symbol of humanity's resilience, hope, and determination to forge a new path in the galaxy. As the ship prepared to leave Earth's atmosphere, people from every corner of the planet watched with a sense of pride and wonder. This was not just the beginning of a new journey for those aboard the ship, but for all of humanity. As the New Dawn entered the vastness of space, Commander Torres looked out at the stars, knowing that each one represented a new possibility, a new challenge, and a new opportunity. The battle for Earth had been won, but the real adventure was just beginning. Humanity had proven its strength, but now it was time to prove its wisdom, compassion, and curiosity. The New Dawn was not just the name of the ship, but a reflection of the era that Earth was entering. It was a time of rebuilding, exploration, and unity. The people of Earth had faced the darkness of war and emerged into the light of a new day, ready to take their place among the stars. And as they ventured into the unknown, they did so with the knowledge that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together as one people, one planet, and one future.